was a big advocate for playing as many sports as possible, really. Kind of just couldn't keep still. Always wanted to throw my name in for any sport in school, and from a young age I was a natural winner, you know. I just wanted to compete and be first in everything.
Because we see a lot of parents, they put a lot of pressure on the kid to be a pro. And sometimes the kid don't want, or they're tired, they don't want to be a professional rugby player, football player, but that's the dream of the parents.
I don't think it's about motivation, because motivation comes and goes. So it's more about being disciplined, go do whatever, you know, instead of just sitting there rotting. I think it's more about being disciplined, because, you know, you can be motivated and then you can not be motivated.
Guys, I'm gonna throw you 5 words and you just give me back the meaning. Your 3 boys,
Crazy.
teenagers.
Stupid.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Beyond the Game episode. Today we have not one but 2 special guests. Welcome to the show, Rhys, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Very glad to have you guys here to have this talk. I'm not very familiarized with rugby, so you guys can teach me a lot. I'm more into football,
Yeah.
but as I have seen and learned a little bit, it's a tough sport. Not easy on the body, not everyone can make it. So tell us about a bit your story, Rhys, first. How did it start? From young age, your parents support you to play only rugby or many different sports?
I was a big advocate for playing as many sports as possible, really. Kind of just couldn't keep still. Always wanted to throw my name in for any sport in school. And from a young age, I was a natural winner, you know. I just wanted to compete and be first in everything. If I wasn't good, then I'd make sure I practiced to be good. So yeah, I played a lot of sports, and rugby, football were kind of the main ones. My preference, obviously, Dad played semi-pro rugby, and always sort of down the local sort of club, Virgin Athletic. So I was always kind of there, following him around from a young age, like 3-4 years old. And then it was at 6 years old then where I could actually start playing myself. So yeah, I was lucky enough. We had a great mini and junior section down in my local club, and sort of joined there and progressed through the ranks, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up. But like the biggest thing is I wasn't sort of the best or in my age group. I didn't really stand out as a player. There was always boys on my team which I thought, oh God, gee, he's gonna like running through everyone, you know. But kind of just went under the radar, you know. But it didn't really affect me or bother me. There was no pressure on me from mum and dad. They supported me. But I think the biggest factor in it is that I wanted it. You know, I was hungry for it, and that was the biggest thing really for my parents. That they didn't mind taking me places then because they could see how sort of dedicated I was to the process. And yeah, I was lucky enough at 17. I was involved in sort of the Osprey sort of pathway and the academies, and at 17 I was still in school. But yeah, it was injuries with the first team, and I had the call to go and train with them at 17. And yeah, look, I was very fortunate to get taken out of school and go on and play professional rugby then. But I think that, yeah, again, like I say, it wasn't easy. At 17, it's obviously you're young, you're still learning the trade. It's a massive step up playing with pros. So yeah, definitely tested my sort of resilience along the way as well, because obviously back then it's obviously social media, newspapers, and if you have 1 or 2 games at pro level, you're not the finished article, but there's going to be people trying to sort of bring you down and say how you're not good enough. But you kind of, that's what I mean, you've got to kind of rise above that, you know. It's kind of blanked that out, and I was very sort of on the money from day one, really, that like the only opinions I accept are from my coaches and my families. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I don't have to listen to that opinion.
Right.
I didn't let that affect me at all. And like you choose to take advice from who you want to take advice from, but for me it was my coaches and my family, and I never let anything else sort of interrupt me.
And you made it happen. 18 years of career.
Yeah, like I said, it's been tough. Sort of injuries, setbacks, but yeah, look, I always see that setback as a big chance to sort of improve as a player. And again, it kind of helped me. I had injuries at sort of 18, 19. and give me an opportunity to go back to sort of college and get my education sorted, you know. And that's probably one advice now. And speaking to Lawrence and his family is if I had my time all over again, then I'd make sure I got my sort of education done first. I know a lot of clubs these days are sort of they really try and push that education side of it first as well, which is hugely positive because obviously, like I said to you, we were scraping through on a day off. We were going into college and getting a full day of education done, and look, it's not ideal when you are playing pro. The last thing you want to do on a Wednesday is go and do a day of studying because
You need to rest as well.
yeah, it's important. Like you said, that day off. Then as I got older, that Wednesday, kind of a full day for me is recovery. You know, I get up, I do a little bike in the morning, then I'm sort of recovering, massage. You know, everything to get yourself mentally and physically right for that Thursday session. So yeah, like you said, it's a lot of setbacks along the way, but it's made me who I am today. You know.
Nice. And going to Lawrence, you are 17, so let's say in a very similar stage what Rhys was 20 years ago. So is your dream to be a professional player?
Yeah. I mean, same as Rhys, I started out just playing loads of sports. Same thing. I wanted to win at everything I did at the time. But as time goes on, as school gets more important as well, I ended up making the decision that probably rugby was probably, I wanted to win at everything, but rugby became more like an obsession, and I enjoyed it the most out of everything else I did.
And how important was your parents, or they still important, but to push you or to support you to play sports? And now that you wanna be a professional player, I guess they make a big role in your life for that decision.
Yeah, no. Both my parents were very supportive in whatever I wanted to do. So whether I wanted to play football or tennis or something like that, they would have been the same way. So they can see that I'm very serious about it. So they didn't mind spending a lot of their time trying to put an effort, and not just taking me to trainings, but training with me, helping me make sure I do the right things, whether it's like recovery or eating or all the other factors. So definitely a massive role for how far I've come at the moment. So
Yeah, because even for the parents, it's an effort. Like to take you, you're 17, you're not driving yet, so they need to take you around for practice, for the games, to school. So it's the parents not only financially, but time-wise, they need to put
Yeah,
effort.
I think that's important as well because I think they go a little bit unnoticed as well. But look, they were a massive impact on my career. Look, if it weren't for them, then I don't think I'd be where I am today. You know, but it's like we used to have to train. That's Young Ospreys Academy, like at 16. We had to go and train at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we're up at 5 o'clock, and mum and dad are sort of taking us there.
Yeah.
And they got their own jobs to do. They got work to do themselves, you know, and then rushing back, so obviously doing the packed lunches, you know, and getting ready for after school stuff. So yes, it's massive. Sort of it affects obviously it's us training, but it sort of affects the family as well,
Yeah.
you know, and in a positive way because they want the best for their children at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, and I think that helps because nowadays, so Lawrence can tell us a bit more. These new generation teenagers, not many are very focused like you are in sports, right? I'm sure you have some friends. Maybe they don't do any sport because of different reasons, social media, all this new technology coming up. Do you see a difference in your teenager, like let's say from 12 until now, a big gap between kids doing sports or a big drop?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot more distractions nowadays, and there's a lot more, things you can do. To be honest. And especially out here in Dubai, there's a lot more opportunities. I know this is true, but Rhys probably the only thing that was really around for him is probably playing rugby. But I feel like now there's a lot more.
Yeah, because it's not fun to wake up at 5, 6 a.m. to go train. Next day you are sore. Your whole body is hurting, but you need to go again.
Yeah. Well, you can class it as fun, really, you know, like Lauren said, really, and myself. You know, he said the word obsessed, and for me, I was obsessed with what I wanted, you know, and whether that was training, eating, sleeping, you know, I was obsessed with it, and like you said, it's a lot more for kids to do over there. There's a lot more opportunities.
Yeah.
But I do see that lack of sort of like I said, I was obsessed with it. I don't see that these days with kids, you know,
Yeah.
whether that's because there's other distractions. Like even when I do a bit of sort of coaching work, you know, it's you can see the kids who are obsessed with it and who are not, you know, and like each their own as well. It's no issue if they're obsessed or not. And
Yeah.
some kids would want to make it pro, some kids are doing it for enjoyment, and that's no problem at all. Like I said, they could be obsessed with playing paddle or table tennis, you know, and
Yeah.
but everyone is different. But being obsessed with something and going after it is hugely important as well.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, Dubai, there are a lot of distractions, a lot of things happening. But at the same time, Dubai gives the opportunity for you guys to meet and train. For you now to be his coach. Maybe back home, you never had the opportunity to meet each other. So I feel like Dubai, also for who wants to take to the next level, gives you that opportunity because of the facilities. It's easy to go around, opportunities. Uh, Professional players coming to do summer camp or different training sessions here. So, do you feel like Dubai, in the same time that have distractions, can help someone that wants to take to the next level?
Yeah, look, it's probably been perfect, really, me coming over here and obviously meeting Lawrence and his family, just because, look, he's hungry, he wants to make it happen, and that rugby environment here is no kind of clear pathway, and obviously for the likes of Lawrence and there's a few other boys out there as well. Like I want to sort of be there and just give them sort of direction and an opportunity. If they do want to make it pro, then give them opportunities to potentially go after it and get it.
Yeah.
I would say that obviously the heat is a big factor
Yeah.
here, you know. So I think if the boys did want to go back and play sort of professional rugby, you'd have to get used to playing in the rain, and
Right.
the storm, and the snow again. No, look, it's distractions here, but like you said, they've got all the world class facilities, you know, to get better sort of
Yeah.
individually in their schools and like where we are now, to be honest. And look, it's like I said, everything is in Dubai for you to get better, sort of mentally and physically to reach your end goal.
And you, as a coach now, do you prepare them mentally for the challenges? Because I see a lot of people, they want to be a pro just for the bling bling or the money.
Yeah.
But not everyone gonna make the millions. Do you prepare them like, guys, it's not only the flowers, you're gonna have tough times, uncertainty, obstacles. You need to give up or going out on a Friday night or Saturday. There is no barbecue with the friends. You gotta train, rest because you have a game the next day. Do you also do this work?
Yeah, look, I try and help, so I mentor them as much as I can, really, just to kind of set them up a little bit. So if boys get nasty injuries at a young age, it could break them, you know, it could hurt them. Some players don't recover from that, you know,
Yeah.
and they kind of go off track a little bit and get distracted and forget it, like, you know. But like I said, I've been there, I've done it, I've had injuries from a young age and kind of used that time to build myself back up. And look, like I said, I probably didn't have a social life when I was kind of a teenager. I didn't, and you speak to my mates, I weren't interested at all because I'd sort of wake up, I'd go to school, I'd come home, I'd train, I'd go to bed early,
Yeah.
and, you know, and that probably stayed with me then throughout my early years as a pro. But then I kind of did sort of realise that I do need to sort of switch off as well, you know, and it was important I did kind of switch off because I was using my sort of holidays as you have sort of 6 weeks off at the end of your season, and I was kind of using that really to keep on sort of pushing myself.
Okay.
And it weren't until sort of 24, 25 I kind of realised I probably need to take a couple of weeks now here just to rest and switch off.
Because that's important as well.
Yeah, and I realised then how important like the mental side of the game was as well, you know, and kind of like it's important being obsessed and being 100% all in. It was also important as well to take your foot off the gas sometimes and switch off. And like I said, now in my off seasons, I go out on the bike or I go for a run. I do other sports in my
Okay.
off season, you know, and just to switch off mentally. Because when I come back, then I always felt like I was hungrier and ready to go
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, because they say, I heard a comment the other day of a former pro athlete who said, if you train hard every day, you're not training hard
Yeah,
because you need that days off to rest and come back stronger. So, Lawrence, are you ready for these challenges or giving up? At 17, there are a lot of temptations there,
Yeah.
right? Party, friends, traveling. How do you see? Do you do you have some friends supporting you, or you have those friends said, why are you doing that? Just give up, or
I feel like for me, though, it's never really been hard for me to not do those things. It's been like, it's been easy because I'd rather train, or I'd rather be ready for the next morning. Everyone wants to go out and have fun sometimes, but if you get up the next morning, you're not as fit as you could have been, or you're not as ready for whatever you've got to do the day after. Then you don't feel great. So it's never been hard for me to not to get away from those things, get away from those distractions. And to be fair, I don't, in a way, I feel like I'm lucky. I've got good friends, and I don't really have any friends that tell me, "Oh, why are you doing this?" So it's not like I've got people, pressuring me to do something different. So yeah, it's never been hard for me in that way.
I think it comes back to obviously the family around you as well, and obviously the guidance from them as well. Like a friend with his parents, and my parents would have been exactly the same. That if they do see you sort of stepping out of line a little bit, they'll sort of reel you back in quickly, just to say, have a word with you. What do you think you should be doing this, or why don't you go out there? So they're kind of the role models as well. They're kind of helping you as well. So I think that's what I mean. The family plays a big part in it as well, and trying to keep that balance, because like it is important to have that social life. Like I always try and encourage my sort of boys to go out and see their friends and have fun. But like this, if it means coming in sort of 2-3 hours earlier, make sure you get that good being ready for the next day to perform, then so be it.
But on the other side is important as well, the family, because we see a lot of parents, they put a lot of pressure on the kid to be a pro. And sometimes the kid don't want, or they're tired, they don't want to be a professional rugby player, football player, but that's the dream of the parents.
Yeah.
So you also need to have the balance. I guess for you, Lawrence, your parents give you the freedom to choose. They don't put you the pressure like, oh, we expect you to be a pro, or like, how was your, from young age until now, this motivation around them, or the pressure, no pressure?
I just feel like they're giving me good advice, throughout the years. They tell me what's right. They didn't put any pressure on me. They say, all right, if you want to do that, then do that. Don't. But from looking at it from a big perspective, not what's going to be fun now, what's going to be better later. I always just felt like what they took, doing the right thing for because they might have fun now going out late or doing these things, but in 5-10 years time it's not going to mean anything. So put in hard work now, you can relax later.
Then you enjoy later,
Enjoy later,
And then for you, Rhys, you have 3 boys now.
Yeah.
What are the ages?
6, 9, and 14.
Okay.
Very busy.
Very busy, huh? With 3 boys at home.
Yeah.
Do you want them to be a professional athlete?
Look, to be honest, it hasn't crossed my mind once. It's like you said. I always say to them to do as many sports as possible and go out and enjoy it. The main thing is for me. I tell them whatever they do, as long as they show me they want it, and they give 110% every time they step on a pitch or training pitch, wherever sport, I don't mind. And look, I'll always support them what they want to do, or if they want to do rugby, or if they want to do football or paddle, I'll always support them. But no, it hasn't crossed my mind. Like they might say to you they want to be rugby players or football players, and if that's what they want to be, look, I'll support them and help them. But for me, it's about encouraging them to do as many sports as possible. But like Lawrence said, and I know for a fact, it gets to a stage where you kind of do have to pick a sport.
Yeah.
Like I was playing rugby and football up until sort of 16, then I got picked for the Ospreys Academy, so I had to kind of miss out on the football. But like my 40-year-old now is kind of at that age where he's kind of choosing between football and rugby, only because it's a lot, to play full-size sort of pitches, running around on a Saturday. So I used to do rugby, football on a Saturday morning, rugby on a Saturday afternoon, rugby on a Sunday.
Wow.
And yeah, I don't know how I got through all that, but no, like looking at it now as a dad, it's like I know it's a lot,
It's a lot, yeah.
If I'm asking them to give 110% all the time, then physically and mentally they're not going to be able to do that 3 times on a weekend.
Yeah.
So like I said, he's at the age where he's kind of doing rugby all year round, but now it's off season. This is when I wanted to go into sort of paddle or do something else, just to explore different avenues. But yeah, like I said, there's never no pressure on it for me. I didn't have it as a kid. And look, I'd just be there to support them. If they 100% want it, then look, I'll back you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we speak with a lot of parents here in ISD, and we see that big question mark. Some parents they want the kids to perform, to be a pro, but we see sometimes the kid is just here because the parent want them to be. That balance needs to
Yeah, it's a balance.
to play a
Like you
key.
said, it's, like you can have the parents pushing you as much as you can, but if the individual or the kid doesn't want it, or he mentally doesn't want it,
Yeah.
it's only so much you can keep sort of pushing him, because otherwise you're going to be pushing him to go onto the rugby pitch, football pitch. He's going to have a terrible attitude. Performance is not going to be there,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like you lose him from the sport completely because he's just disinterested. Whereas if you just let him be himself and kind of give him guidance and advice and just help him support him along the way, then he'll find what
Yeah.
he wants to do. Then you can kind of push him and help him in that. Then
Yeah, because the main point of sport is to have fun,
yeah, exactly.
right? Make friends, meet new people. Lawrence, do you feel you being in that level, like training super hard with this dream to be a pro? At home, because you have two sisters, do you motivate them, or you feel they are motivated of your dedication and all of this? Because I think it's important at home as well to have someone that inspire either your parents, brother, sister.
Yeah, no, I do try. Yeah, no, sometimes I do try. Help. But again, if they don't want to do it, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say it.
Don't listen to them.
Yeah. But no, I will definitely, might go in the garden and do a bit of classes, stuff like that, But I feel like my parents, they spend a lot of time with my sisters as well. So, and they're only young, so as you grow into it. But if you don't want to do it, then there's no point trying, because anyone can force someone to work out or, try and help them, but if they don't mentally really want it, there's no point. It's not going to go.
Yeah. And with your friends at school, because when I was in high school, I had a friend, he was like amazing in football, and we knew he was going to become a pro, and he did. And for us was like a benefit to be around a kid like that, so talented, and football is a big thing in Brazil, and we were cheering him up to become a professional player. Do you have this among your friends?
I don't know, maybe they do seem motivated in a way by me, but I seem motivated by some of my friends as well, because there's things to take from everyone. So, whether it's school or sport in general, or just how a person is. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, I agree. I think in a way, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just on your point then, where you said your friend went on to play pro football. It's like we had a friend of ours, played with him from the mini juniors all the way through, and he got to year 9, and he was going to be the next best rugby player there's been for a while, and everyone knew, he kind of knew. Got into Osprey's academy with me, and then never played rugby again after 18, just didn't have the right attitude.
Okay.
Kind of thought he was bigger than what he was. So that's why I think you've got to have that got to be so professional, and you're physically, you've got to be good, you've got to have that talent, but I think the attitude is got to be there as well.
Yeah, it's the whole package, right? It's not like you can be talented, you want it, but there are other things.
To take advice and learn from people, then, and you think you're bigger than what you are, then talent will only get you so far,
Yeah,
You've got to be
true.
able to sort of have a bit of everything.
And with this new generation, the younger than you, we see a big challenge to have kids playing sports. They want to go home, be on the phone, technology is there, playing video game. How do you, AI, we were just talking about AI, how it's changing, even for the good in sports, but there are some other side that's not that good. How do you see, how can parents, young boys, teenager kids, to be motivated to do more? We see a decrease of 40% less kids doing sports. Even we are busy, you see tennis, football, paddle, table tennis, we are busy, but there is a drop of less kids doing sports. And people are worried about that, of their mental health, not only about the look, but to be active, make friends. People are struggling to socialize, to meet new people. And I think sport is the best way to meet make friends. Honestly, I think you're not gonna make many friends at the bar. Like the next morning, you might forget. In sports, in sports, you can make good friends, and sport gives the opportunity to meet people from all over the world, especially here in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
Like we met by chance
Yeah,
on the paddock. Like we have common friends
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
paddle. We met. I met your mom doing the fitness training here. She told me about you. At the end of the day, you guys both play rugby. You're coaching him. So, what message you would give to the parents, you as a parent, and you as a almost young adult,
In between, yeah.
to motivate these kids?
I think the kids have got to be sort of like I said earlier, they've got to want it as well. You know, they've got want to go out there. Like I said, like the individual stuff is good. Like golf and tennis is an individual sport, that's good. But like I said, there's no better way in a team sport to get in the mix with sort of peers from all over the world. That was the first thing I wanted to do, was get my kids involved in Dubai Sharks Rugby Club, because I know how important that team environment is, you know. And look, the first training session, they just felt at home straight away.
Right.
Then, you know, it's like they kind of, you have your schoolmates, but I feel like club mates are normally your sort of guys you kind of stick with, you know, just because you kind of all got that same mindset. But look, I know a lot of schools are trying to help now, like we spoke about earlier with Desk, they're kind of taking the phones off the kids in the day,
Yeah.
so they put them in a pouch. Yeah, I think it has to help from families as well at home, where there's a lot of families, mums and dads are sort of working sort of quite late, all hours, and they're left sort of home on their own, and the sort of the kids are having more sort of opportunities then just to
Yeah.
sit there on their phones. That's what you're getting sort of brought up along with as well. Like say some families are sort of out late working at all hours and now sort of help with the kids, and whether the kids are then sort of ruling the roost sort of thing, you know. Again, it comes from home as well. Like if kids are sort of on the PlayStations till all hours in the night, then like it affects them the next day
Yeah.
as well. So like you say, talk about mentally. So it's got to come from sort of within first, you know, and then sort of people can help them along the way.
Going back to when you said, like, how do people stay motivated to not be on their phone to do other things? I don't think it's about motivation, because motivation comes and goes. You know, there's times where you just, you know, you want to, okay, let's get up, let's train, and but there's times where you just want to sit down and you don't want to do it. But so it's more about being disciplined, and knowing, all right, this ain't the right thing to do. I'm gonna do what I should be doing. I can go train or go do whatever, you know, instead of just sitting there rotting. I think it's more about being disciplined, because you know you can be motivated and then you can not be motivated. So yeah.
And I think it's all in what consideration as well. Like, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's like my boys don't play on their PlayStations at all, but then like they come home from school and they're jumping around the settees and fighting, you know, and I was like, right, go on a PlayStation for a half hour, you know, just a half hour, just to like calm down, relax for 5 minutes. Like Lauren said, it's a time and a place to do it, you know, and like give you 1.5 hour, so just limit your time on there, you know, like have half hour on there, or like it's an easy habit to get into scrolling on your phone before bed, you know, like, I don't know, TikTok and whatever. Like my eldest boy does it now, he would go up to bed about 8:30, but he's sitting there just scrolling on TikTok, you know, and that could get sort of addicted then, you know, you could end up being hour, 2 hours later just watching videos, because obviously a lot of things on social media these days, and you're like, oh, look at that. And you do a bit of research, and you find out a bit more. So I think it just all comes into sort of balance, you know, and just doing what sort of works for you. But yeah,
I think Lawrence has very strong mindset. I can see.
Yeah.
And you as a coach, you can tell, no, the
like
boy is ready to try.
Yeah, I think that's obviously being involved in sort of these environments. You kind of can see the boys who want it, don't want it, you know, and. Like you said, with my sons, and like I said with Lawrence now, and other boys, like if they want it, then look, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll help them as much as I can, and yeah, I just want to give boys like these an opportunity, sort of whether that's back home or UK, to get themselves sort of recognised and sort of can chase their dreams.
Oh, it's amazing. First, I wish both of you very good luck. For you, Lawrence, on the next step in the career. Hopefully, in a few years, we are back here sitting, talking again. And how was the journey? But no, it's amazing to hear and to listen from your perspective. You've been there. You did all the the hard work.
Yeah.
Now you're putting them to
Yeah.
to run and put the hard work. But it's great. I think we need more of that. More boys and girls with this mentality. Again, if they're gonna be professional, if they're training to be a pro, is a consequence. But they need to be active and doing sports with other kids. To finalize, I'm gonna throw you 5 words, and then 5 to you, and you just give me back one word or one phrase or the meaning for you.
Okay.
Rugby,
Enjoyment.
your 3 boys,
Crazy.
mom and dad,
Influence.
your wife,
Supportive.
and Dubai.
Amazing.
Good one, huh?
Yeah.
Challenge for you.
I'm not good at that.
Okay. Mom and dad. Cannot repeat this word, huh?
Support.
Okay. Teenagers.
Stupid.
Rugby.
Everything.
A dream.
What's your dream? Goals. So,
And Dubai.
hard work.
A good one. But guys, thank you very much for the time.
No, thank
it was
you.
a good talk.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
very good.
a lot to learn from you guys. Good energy from the young boy. Amazing story from the pro career and now as a coach.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, thank you very much for watching another episode. I hope you enjoy. Amazing story. High level of rugby here. Young boy with the former pro player and now his coach. So if you like, please give the like, share with your friends and family, and see you next time. Bye-bye.